This is Campus News, reporting the top stories from colleges and universities.
Next on Campus News, winter storms stir up a heated debate between the city and students over parking.
See why these Dragon athletes choose to sit on the bench now to help themselves in the future.
One MSU Moorhead student makes a sweet deal on a hit TV game show.
But first, gun control is triggering debate at North Dakota State University.
Good morning and welcome to Campus News. I'm Chelsea Smith.
And I'm Ezra Vandeninde. President Obama's proposed change to existing gun laws has sparked a heated debate in both political and public forums.
Matt Gleason reports from West Fargo on what the new laws mean to local student gun owners and how they view the proposed legislation.
Even with the noise, it's peaceful here.
When you're shooting, there's no muscle involved. You have to be completely relaxed. No muscle tension at all. Zen, in the zone. It's very much like yoga.
Student members of the NDSU Marksmanship Club meet on Wednesday nights like this one to train for competitive shooting.
At NDSU, we have great coaches.
That was better.
For me, it's a lot of fun. I love to compete and have a challenge.
Despite the focus involved, though, many of the members say it's a time for them to relax.
For me, it's like my stress reliever. It clears my mind, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Gets your mind off of a lot of things, and you can just focus on, shooting for how many ever hours you're out.
If passed, the president's new gun laws have the potential to impact millions of American gun owners, including the students here.
Initial thoughts, I agree that there should be a ban on automatic rifles. Semi-automatics, that's another issue. In all aspects, there just should be a lot more education. Should you be required to have an educational class before owning a rifle? I believe so.
One proposed change involves limiting gun magazines to 10 rounds per clip.
For like a home defense situation, you would want as many rounds as you can have. But I mean, obviously you don't need one with like 50 rounds. I mean, you really just don't.
For self-defense reasons, I believe 10 should be the maximum. You really don't need anything more than 10 bullets at a time. Growing up in Montana, I only had a single shot .410 when I was out, grouse hunting. I didn't need more than that.
Although legislation may alter some aspects of how the Marksmanship Club trains, some things will likely never change. Shooting will still require focus, a steady hand, and careful placement of shots. Matt Gleason, Campus News.
One of the many changes proposed would close a loophole in background checks. Currently, purchases made at a gun show can be done without a background check.
Moorhead's snow removal policy has contributed to more than 130 cars being towed in recent weeks. The policy states that after a snowstorm, residents can only park their cars on certain sides of the street or else they'll be towed. Some of the cars that were towed belong to MSUM students. Many of them claim they were unaware of the new policy. Members of the Moorhead City Council hosted a town hall meeting on campus to address their concerns. Moorhead Councilman Mark Altenberg agrees with the students and admits mistakes were made.
I think our intention on the parking policy was right and the execution has been terrible.
Part of the problem comes from the limited parking spots in the neighborhood around MSUM.
After all of the debate at the City Council meeting, MSUM has created an option that they hope will eliminate some of the towing.
During snow removal days, students will now be allowed to park in the general parking lots without a permit. However, some students who purchased a parking permit aren't happy that their spots will be available to others.
Since I haven't paid and I live here and need to park here, and I've paid for the permit and the living expenses, it is a little unfair.
When I got back today, I had to drive around the parking lot for about a half hour just to get a parking spot.
Students can only park without a permit during the 2 days of a snow removal declaration. After only 7 months on the job, North Dakota's Board of Higher Education's Chancellor, Hamid Shervani's position has come under fire. State Senator Tony Grinberg has proposed an amendment to buy out Chancellor Shervani's contract. It would take around $800,000 to cover the remaining 2 years. Senator Grinberg's proposal is a reaction to Chancellor Shervani's leadership style and a controversy surrounding a joint information technology building in Grand Forks.
I think we're at a crossroads in North Dakota with the approach to governance and leading, and who's the right person to be leading an organization. It's very complex. that requires sound decision making, building a team and having a unified team, as well as being able to deal with the legislature.
Despite the proposed amendment, the Board of Education is standing by Shivani, who says he has no plans to resign the position. Minnesota has seen more than 100 deaths during this year's flu season, and luckily, health officials are saying the worst of it is likely over.
Reporter Aristide Serrano tells us how the MSU Moorhead Early Education Center is working to keep their students flu-free.
With germs lurking around during flu season, educators in this center have been stressing cleanliness in order to prevent any illness.
There was 1 week where there were so many kids gone. It was like all the rooms were just really small. There weren't many kids at all.
It's somebody's birthday today and he goes to here and he's one of the kindergarten like them.
Since the children are in constant contact with each other, Director of the Early Education Center, Lacey Saga, explains some of the measures taken to ensure the children's health.
We clean everything but we do that even when it's not cold and flu season. But we clean everything with soap and water and a bleach solution. And then we also sanitize all the toys in the dishwasher once a week.
Because it is winter, the kids are unable to go outside as often, which means they are more at risk of spreading germs in the classroom, although the kids do have a special cough.
We teach them to cough into their elbow, so they'll cough like this.
As one student demonstrates, washing your hands is an easy and simple procedure.
I put soap on and then I turned on the water and then I'm washing right now. And then I turned it off and then I did one paper towel.
With photographer Charles Crane, Aristide Serrano, Campus News.
Teachers are also requiring everyone who enters the classroom to wash their hands. The University of North Dakota Medical School has gone before the state legislature in hopes of receiving millions for renovation or expansion. UND leaders are asking for a total of $124 million for a new building to address growing enrollment. Dean of the School of Medicine and Health Sciences, Joshua Wynn, says a new building will be less expensive over the next 40 years compared to the cost of remodeling the current one. The current building is over 60 years old.
For Moorhead students who lock their keys in their cars, there's a service they can get but hope they never need. As reporter Rebecca Liebach shows us, it's a time and money saver that is appreciated by many.
It's a situation that is all too familiar for us. You walk up to your car and you hear this. It's locked. And to make things even worse, your keys are locked inside of it. What do you do now?
The good news is if you are in Moorhead, you are taken care of.
It's a service that we've been able to do. I know we've been doing it for over 20 years, maybe 30 years. It's certainly something that's reconsidered at times, just given staffing. But what we've decided is that it certainly is an appreciated service that we can do.
For Officer Steve with the Moorhead Police, it's all in a day's work.
There you go.
He has been unlocking doors for over 14 years and knows all the tricks of the trade.
It'll come up on the inside of the window. And
it's these tricks that benefit students and professors over at MSUM.
Well, I think it's, that's important. I mean, it helps quite a bit.
However, on the other side of the river in Fargo, if you happen to lock your keys in your car, you have to pay the price.
The idea of the police department unlocking car doors is I can't believe any police departments are still doing it.
Lieutenant Greg Stone with the NDSU Police says having anyone other than a locksmith do the service will do more harm than good.
Officer, we used to open doors, and after we stopped doing it, one of the locksmiths talked to me and he said, "You were doing me a favor by opening cars because you were breaking so many locks. I made money fixing them."
So it sounds like whether you live in Fargo or in Moorhead, your best bet is to always have a backup.
I have to wear them around my neck or else I forget them.
I close the door, I make sure my keys are in my hand, otherwise I don't shut the door.
With photographer Grant Nelson, Rebecca Liebach, Campus News.
The number to call to get your car unlocked in Moorhead is 218-299-5120. One professor in New York doesn't worry about locking his keys in his car as he celebrates a landmark commute on his bicycle. Larry Weiskirk is celebrating his 1,000th commute to school on his bicycle. Larry rides his bike no matter what the weather is. The 47-year-old started riding his bike to school almost 5 years ago when gas prices got too high. Now Larry has no need to worry about gas prices because he sold his car. His 2.5-mile bike ride takes him roughly 20 minutes each way.
The Science Olympiad had another successful year as children lined up to show off their science skills. The competition at MSU Moorhead brought in students from all over Minnesota. This year is the 29th anniversary for the Science Olympiad, and the event continues to prove that children from all over the U.S. are getting more involved with science. The event provides competitions in all aspects of science, including chemistry, geology, and more.
My favorite part of the event is watching students who probably don't spend a lot of time in extracurricular activities other than academics treat this as if it's their Super Bowl.
Across the nation, more than 6,400 teams take part in the Science Olympiad. As gas prices continue to increase, engineers are looking to make cars more efficient. 2 students at NDSU have an invention that they say will do just that. Brian Ashburn has the story.
In the bitter cold, it's normal to run your car for minutes before driving. The problem is, more heat, more gas. And more gas, more money.
Our goal is to increase efficiency.
Alex Jennings and Chris Michelson are engineering a product.
Got it? Yeah. Okay.
That they say will solve a problem they've been working on for years.
In elementary school, I actually would Google why our engine's so inefficient, and
At NDSU, the duo have been working for months to design and build their prototype.
It's a fan.
By using this fan, they say they will take the heat emitted from the engines.
And voila, you've transferred heat to motion.
They're entering their project in the Innovation Challenge,
What you probably want to
a competition for NDSU students to pitch ideas for products that will impact the community.
Yeah.
If we win, we get a nice cash prize, and hopefully we'll go on and turn our invention into a real product.
But the cash prize isn't the only motive behind their hard work.
We're passionate about the subject. We're not doing it for credit. We're doing it because we love we love our idea and we think it can work.
Down the road, the engineering duo hope to turn their invention into a potential job.
We'll pitch it to Ford or GM or something like that, and it could mean a job for us. So.
And save money on gas for the rest of us. Brian Ashburn, Campus News.
During NDSU's Innovation Week, starting February 25th, more than 20 groups will pitch their products to members of the community who will choose the winners.
It's called National Inspire Your Heart with Art Day, and at MSUM, the first ever event provided both students and faculty an opportunity to see the works of current students on display. The event took place in the CMU ballroom, where students had the opportunity to create their own art projects.
It's to be able to kind of get back to that again, to be able to just get my hands dirty, get involved in something and try something out. It's really cool.
The artists showcased their work through a variety of different paintings, drawings, and projects students created at the event. Attendees were able to leave comments on the artwork in the form of post-it notes for the artists and other attendees to see.
It was no ordinary Saturday night at Concordia College when students came together for a worthy cause. The Mr. Concordia competition was not just about the beauty and talent, but to raise money for the local YWCA. Reporter Brianne Lensmeyer has the story.
Each January, Lambda Delta Sigma, Concordia's only philanthropic sorority, sponsors Mr. Concordia each year.
It's been going on quite a few years now, and every year it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. It's our biggest event, and we're really proud of it. We raise a lot of money for the YWCA.
14 competitors in 3 different categories. Each person had the opportunity to impress the judges. Starting off the competition was the talent round, showcasing the competitors' talent through a variety of different acts. Next, the interview round, where the competitors were asked different questions.
Would you rather have all of your dreams come true but have a 50% chance of instant death,
Or be average with nothing special about you, but live a full life.
I'll take my chances with death.
The competition concluded with the Cobber Spirit Round, where each competitor showed how much Concordia has meant to him.
When I say Concordia, you say Cord. Concordia! Go Cubs! That's it.
The crowning moment came next.
Mr. Eric Chilkin.
After the crowning moment, the newly crowned Mr. Concordia was still in shock.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, the week before, I was like, oh, I'm not worried about it. And then this morning, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do.
With the new Mr. Concordia crowned and a record amount of money raised, the competition brought everyone together for a fun event that will make an impact for both students and the local YWCA. Breanne Lensmeyer, Campus News.
The students raised more than $1,200, the highest amount the Mr. Concordia event has ever raised for the local YWCA.
The professor known as the face of the Concordia Choir is now being recognized with major awards. Dr. Renee Clausen won 3 Grammy Awards for his work on the CD Life and Breath, Choral Works by Renee Clausen. The CD was awarded the Best Engineered Classical Album and Best Choral Performance. The producer of the CD was also awarded for Classical Producer of the Year. Dr. Clausen has been the conductor of the Concordia Choir since 1986. With just one glance, you can tell someone is a cobber, not by the clothes they wear, but by what is on their finger. Reporter Jenna Weinberger gives us a look into this long-lasting Concordia tradition.
Buying class rings is a copper tradition for Concordia's juniors and seniors. The upperclassmen register for the rings at the Normandy bookstore.
This Concordia ring's been a long-standing tradition. It's almost like a rite of passage.
The rings have been a significant part of Cobber history for 90 years. Students say that buying a ring unifies them as a Cobber family.
It's just the best way to be proud to be a Cobber, and it's just a tradition around here.
I personally have heard hundreds of different stories of friendships and relationships that were made outside of the school just by wearing the ring.
The ring represents pride and accomplishment among the students. Students wearing the rings are easily recognized by the community as Concordia alumni.
But Cobber rings, you just see them all over the country, and I see them on TV commercials sometimes, and I'm like, hey, there's a Cobber, so I just want to represent that I went here.
And it is probably the biggest networking tool for Concordia alumni to be recognized by other Concordia alumni out into society and the world. Also, I've heard of employers actually hiring people because they were wearing their Concordia ring.
The rings are a keepsake that Concordia students will cherish for a long time. It is something they can look back on in years to come.
It's kind of a reminder because when I came here, I just kind of realized what I wanted to do with my life. So it's just kind of nice to be able to look at something and look back.
People will know that, I go to a great school.
With photographer Ben Gumringer, Jenna Weinberger, Campus News.
A ring can cost a student anywhere from $600 to more than $1,000. Now we turn it over to Colin Boyles for a look at this week's sports.
So Colin, I hear there's a couple of basketball freshmen that have to have a lot of patience these days.
Yeah, they decided that option would be best for them this year. Thanks. Similar situations are bringing a couple of Dragon student athletes closer together. An opportunity to prepare for the future is just what 2 men's basketball athletes wanted.
This is just another day during MSU Moorhead basketball season. Freshman guard Ryan Benoit and fellow freshman and forward Matt Nelson play for the Dragons. Well, play might not be the right word.
Well, I'm redshirting this year, so that means I won't be playing at all.
We're just here to get better and prepare for the future years, but we also have to help the team this year.
Our job is really just to give the starters and the people who are going to be playing the best look we can to get them prepared for the game.
The 2 newcomers will miss all game action during their first season in college.
They will be able to practice, lift weights, and do everything else the non-redshirts can do.
It was a decision brought to the table by head coach Chad Walthall.
Anytime we redshirt somebody, it has to be a mutual decision. I think all parties agreed it was the best thing for them and best thing for the program.
Defense, bigs there, guards there. After discussion with the coach, the athletes and their families agreed with the decision. Now, the two practice together, watch games together, and live together.
Is your computer still not working? We both committed back the fall of our senior year, and pretty much the coaches just set us up together.
Well, I think it's kind of, it's not something we really planned ahead necessarily, but I do think it's nice that both of them live together. They're kind of going through the same process.
Since we're both redshirting, we're both playing basketball, you know, we just have common ground, you know.
The duo's main focus is improving for the future when they finally take the court in Nimzik Hall. Until then, they will spend this year sharing experiences, dorm space, and the Dragons bench.
Benoit and Nelson are 2 of 8 new student athletes to join the Dragons squad. The men's and women's track and field teams at MSUM have had their bright spots, but one specific athlete's performance is being brought into the conference spotlight. MSUM senior thrower Heather Schultz recently earned Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference Field Athlete of the Week at the Cobber Open. She followed that with a record-setting performance in the shot put at the Cobber Duels in Moorhead. Schultz set a new Dragons women's record with a 46 feet and a half-inch throw. Despite the awards, she remains focused on her ability to keep improving.
I was really excited. I've been working really hard just to break it, and I've been chasing it for 2 years. And now that I got it, it's just to break it as far as I can and keep going farther and farther.
Schultz owns both the indoor and outdoor women's shot put record for the Dragons. National Signing Day brought big lights, cameras, and a first-time online audience to MSUM. Head football coach Steve Lockway, athletics director Doug Peters, and assistant athletics director for marketing and production John Webking announced each signing during a live webcast in Alex Nimzik Fieldhouse. The trio answered questions, examined incoming recruits, and discussed the future of the Dragons program. The advancement in media is just another step forward for Dragons athletics.
We were talking, and we've done videos for signing day before in different ways, and shooting them, recording them, editing them. And we have the capability to go live now, and just why not?
The Dragons added 24 new players to their program and hope to continue this event for future recruits. As a group of young men join MSUM's team, the father of a North Dakota State football player says his son will be hanging up his jersey to focus more on school. Doug Oakland says during recruiting week, an inappropriate tweet was posted on Twitter about his son, freshman Andrew, not returning. Doug says Andrew did not post the tweet, and there are a number of reasons that led to his decision of not playing next season. Bison coaches say they are leaving the door open if Oakland decides to return. Oakland's father says his son has passing grades and his eligibility is not in jeopardy. Oakland started 5 of 15 games and caught 15 passes for 214 yards. Numerous MSUM students dedicate their Monday and Wednesday nights to a workout that improves their fighting skills. Cammie Raisler shows us why these fight nights don't seem like much work to them.
The MSUM Taekwondo Club is back in action this semester. Members say the club is helpful to distress their minds while keeping their bodies physically active.
It's very fun, it's a good workout, and you don't even know it's a workout when you're doing it.
The club is open to people of all levels, including beginners.
Getting to practice with the first class students, like the beginners, is really fun for me.
And just kind of practice jumping away from it
Roy
a little bit.
Gilbertson is the instructor of the club. He helps the members use correct technique and form so they are prepared for upcoming competitions.
Start here, so when I turn, my body's still here.
There are tournaments, usually 1 or 2 per semester that we go to.
Members say they enjoy their time with the club and they don't mind whooping up on some of their buddies.
It's fun, it's hard, it's challenging, it's intense, but the camaraderie of the class is so enjoyable, and at the end of the semester, you kick the crap out of each other so much that you're surprisingly really good friends for it.
So when students are looking to lose that extra pound,
it burns a lot of calories.
Joining the MSUM Taekwondo Club is an option they're looking into. Cammie Raisler, Campus News.
The Taekwondo Club meets twice a week at MSUM's Nimzik Hall. So the Dragons football team did fill a few holes during that signing day.
Yeah, are there any areas that look especially promising for next year?
Well, they did sign a couple big guys to sit on the offensive line for them, and that's a hole they definitely needed to fill.
Well, we'll look forward to next season. Thanks, Colin. It's something many people don't get to experience in their lifetime, being on a national TV game show. But for one MSU Moorhead student and one of our very own campus news reporters, he got to do just that. I was there for the viewing party of his national TV appearance. Lights, cameras, and penguins. Decked out in his finest attire, Brian Ashburn hit the stage as a contestant on the game show Let's Make a Deal.
I'm nervous now and I know how it ends.
While interning for the Ellen Show last semester, Ashburn bought a ticket for the game show and auditioned to be a contestant. And it paid off. Friends and coworkers came to the CMU to watch Ashburn as he claps, jumps, and says some pretty unforgettable things.
YOLO! For those of you, YOLO in the vernacular means you only live once.
Chosen as one of the top 3 contestants, Ashburn passes up a trip to Catalina or an HD TV for what's behind curtain number 3.
It's a new dirt bike! You only live once.
And becoming the big deal contestant of the day, meaning at the end of the show he can trade in his dirt bike for a chance to win a prize worth
$23,325!
Pressing his luck, Ashburn went for the big deal of the day.
I remember freaking out and everyone around me was being like, do it, don't do it, don't do it. So I was just like, I don't know what to do. So I had to ask my friend and she was like, just go for it. I was really nervous I was gonna pick something bad and then lose this $7,500 bike.
Choosing curtain number 3, Ashburn anxiously waits as they open the first 2.
You could have won a new grill and hammock. That's not the big deal. It's the Let's Make a Deal vault. $2,909. You've got the big deal of the day, bro.
Ashburn won a Honda CR-V worth more than $23,000, making his game show experience, most would say, is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Or better, in his words,
YOLO!
Ashburn will receive a call in the next few weeks from a Honda dealer in Minnesota where he can go and pick up his car. And that's it for this edition of Campus News.
We leave you with footage of MSU Moorhead's Winter Wonderland, where the Memorial Union was converted into a skating rink.
Thanks for joining us, and have a great week.
Campus News was produced by the Television News Workshop in the Department of Mass Communications at Minnesota State University Moorhead, in cooperation with Prairie Public Television.